Dozens of small businesses in Springfield are set to receive funding.
That's just one of the stops we make as Western Mass News goes town by town. Springfield Mayor Dominic Sarno and the city's American Rescue Plan Act team announced today the recipients of the 10th round of ARPA funding awards, totaling around $5.5 million. $1.37 million is being awarded to 45 small businesses, and nearly $4 million will go to nonprofits.
This month, the Chicopee Fire Department and Hampden County Sheriff's Department Triad Division joined forces to present their personal emergency preparedness lunch and learn event. Today's lunch wrapped up the week-long event. At the event, guests got to learn about the importance of being prepared in the wake of a disaster, what should be in your emergency preparedness bag, and where to keep it. After lunch, guests were able to build their own preparedness bag.
And today, Holyoke Community College hosted a panel of area business leaders for Black History Month. At the event, business leaders shared their personal stories of overcoming barriers to success. The discussion focusing on this year's Black History Month theme, Resistance and Persistence, celebrating Black leadership in our community. Panelists included Tony Bass, owner of City Beat Multimedia Group in Springfield, and Z Johnson, owner of Olive Tree Books in Springfield.